Warning: this is a Katawa Shoujo playthrough. Some content may be inappropriate for kiddies. Previously on Katawa Shoujo.
I was about to make the same joke. Ah, a girl on my arm. This is exactly what we were trying to get to. Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique.
And our story continues.
Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land, Jake of the OneManBand is back again playing more Katawa Shoujo. Last time we left off, Rin had an episode type do flicky, and we spent some more time with Lilly, but we are back in the classroom. The students roll into class for Saturday morning session. Ha ha! School on Saturdays. It's funny. Each and every one of them sporting a tired look of people who have worked through the night. That's me a lot of times. With only one day left to prepare for the festival, mind you, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until lunch break, and then our time is our own. Oh, so it's like a half day. Tao lurches into the class in a tired stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people who here who enjoyed their late Friday nights. Oh yeah, he was probably out having some vodka martinis with his co-workers. I don't know. He looks like a guy who would... He looks like a combination of somebody who would go to a nightclub and have a barbecue. I don't know. Without saying a word, he scrawls some paging question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. Work! Me? I got a hangover. Who knows what that means? It's completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in class is going to call him out on it. Ah, something in my eye. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class, not the mind. Well, I guess fatigue would make the mind antisocial, but the text says it makes the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the ruffled pages. You mean Misha ain't even talking? The bundle of ADHD? What the crap? This is partly attributed to the two empty seats beside me. For some reason... Oh, okay, there we go. Misha and Suzune aren't present, possibly doing student council work for the festival. Haha, it's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she's just making up for Shizune's lack of voice. Probably a little bit of both, but... Nikkei, can I speak with you for a moment? Oh no, we in trouble. We did something. Look, it was late, I was with Kenji, we had a few drinks. As I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Matao approaching my desk. Sure, what about? It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom. Oh, no, okay. Something about that doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. Now look, whatever it is, it's nothing, I swears. Matao stands on the hallway scratching his head as he works out what he's trying to say. Not knowing what is going on, I wait silently. So, tell me, how are things? Things? I think I've played this before. Maybe, I don't know. I expected Matao to be a little vague, but this is pushing the limits. You know, things. You had a week to settle in now, so how are things? Things are fine, I guess. I see. How is your condition? Could be better. The pause before condition seems a little unnecessary. Haven't had any problems so far. A brief shimmer of relief passes across Matao's face. Oh, good. That's good. The school nurse was a little concerned that you might be pushing yourself a bit too hard. He asked me to keep an eye on you when he couldn't. That makes sense. I'd ask that you don't blow off so freely. As much as we try to give you the level of education that you would get at normal school, you have to realize that you have limits. Our goal is to make sure that you know where those limits are and how to maximize your potential within them. Do you follow me? I guess. I mean, I don't plan on doing anything stupid. Well, that's a start, I guess. Now, what would define stupid? Let's think about that. Well then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Matao taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well, yeah, you've got to keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right? Right. Just like the book. You're right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. Next big thing! I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Matao's serious talk is over, and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think in hindsight that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. Well then, I think that's all I really have to say. Let's go back inside, shall we? My relief at that suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss. Matao pauses for a moment. I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant, I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. Yeah, you got work to do. A few of the students jump at the sound at the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they were working on the questions on the board. We weren't talking or making out or anything. No. Some don't even bother. Their heads slump on their desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Matao doesn't even take notice of them. Now that was me in college. Just... I'm sleeping. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of his drawers. I guess I got him in there. The class returns to its near silence that Matao and I left it before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest at the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. And there's the bell! Saved by the bell! Time to go to work! Hi-ho, it's off to festival preparations we go. The clock on the wall slowly ticks the remaining class time away until finally the bell cries out, ending the torment. Before you all leave, I expect the answers to these problems by Monday. The class sighs as one, instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in a blink as everyone rushes to the last-minute festival preparations. What am I gonna be doing? Nothing. I stay behind and try to quickly finish the questions so I don't have to bother with it for the rest of the weekend. And the festival and all tomorrow. Hanako! Hi! It's been forever! Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lilly. It's weird that Lilly comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least normally harder for her than it is for Hanako. Eyes aren't working, but that's none of my business, and I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else. So, an oppressive silence falls on the classroom. As time passes in silence, it's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn the pages to my notebook. Hanako turns to the pages in the novel she's reading. My pencil lead splinters against the paper just when I was about to finish a paragraph. Oh! Broken pencil! Should've used a pen! The sound of my irritated sighs and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like I'm breaking the mood in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hooray! Hanako! Oh, look at them. They're two bestest of friends. So cute. Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump from her desk and run to Lilly. They talk quietly for a moment, as it isn't long before Lilly leaves down the hall and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. What? Why? Why? Oh, wait. Stupid, I clicked off the thing. Okay. I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. And this is what? For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit with her chin in her hands, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes way too much for her, though her slender frame reaches into her bag and pulls out a small book. Now, is this different than the novel that she was just reading? Come to think of it, this isn't the one. Yeah, this isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. But why would Lilly leave her to her own devices? It seems to be quite out of the ordinary, going by Hanako's reaction. ... Shizune's line. That's right. I think Lilly mentioned something about going to town today before Rin bumped into us. I thought of that walk makes me look outside. The bright sun and occasional people wandering around and enjoying the afternoon makes me yearn to get out of school, or at least do something other than sit here. And there's a lot of clouds in the sky, which means Rin is out watching them. Giving in to one of my worst vices, procrastination, I decide that history is a subject best suited on a Sunday, or Monday, or any other date other than this one. But history is so awesome! I give a grunt as I lever myself out of my seat, briefly debating on whether or not to hang out with Kenji. It doesn't strike me as the enjoying the nice weather outside with others kind of person, really. I guess I'll just catch up with him later. Changing tacks, I briefly entertain the idea of talking to Hanako. But by the time I look at her seat, it's vacant. She must have left for the library. Like a ninja. Ninja vanish. Okay, go to the library, or go for a walk into town. Well, I think if we're gonna go with Lilly, we're gonna go to town. There, it has been done. Following Hanako to the library seems a bit intrusive. There was a reason she left the classroom after all. And that aside, I do want to catch up with Lilly, at the very least. I'd like to thank her for looking out for me despite her other obvious taxing duties. I guess I'll walk around town. With any luck, I should be able to find Lilly. The exercise will do me some good as well. That was an abrupt change of music. Walking through the schoolyard to the gate, I give a small nod to a couple of passing classmates. The gesture is returned in kind. Glad to see that males still communicate the same way in Japan as they do in America. Just slight nod, so... Even from here, the shouts of the sport club's members can be heard. From the sheer volume of the din, the track must be packed right now. I wonder what Lilly said yesterday about being dropped right into the middle of a busy time for the school. While I'm trying to get my bearings and catch up on study that I've missed, everyone else was doing normal school activities. Normal. The feeling of being a foreigner still hasn't dissipated, at least not yet. Well, I guess not everything's bad. This is a private school, and that much is easily noticed when walking around outside. Not only are the school grounds huge, but the buildings themselves are immaculate and quite divorced from the dime a dozen concrete blocks of the public schools. There's also the fact that there is much stronger feelings of community here, or at least a familiar atmosphere. In my old school, it was generally accepted that people would keep to their own little clique and be done with it. Eventually, I reached the gate and began to walk down the road and into town. Well, that was fairly productive. Having seen a fair portion of town, even including the houses perched on the hills around the outskirts, I decided to take a walk around the park before heading back. Living in the city all my life, the total lack of smartly dressed businessmen and fashionably dressed girls strikes me as incredibly unusual. All that to be seen are the odd elderly person shuffling off. Okay. I didn't even get time to read that. Okay. I'm gonna use my brain. All that's to be seen is the odd elderly person shuffling along the sidewalk and the assorted, busily chatting pairs of middle-aged women outside the small stone fronts. Walking along the road to the park quickly distracts me from that, though, making me realize that I perhaps pushed myself further than I should have done to see as much as I could. As my breath begins to wheeze and my chest tightens more and more, I give up on the prospect of soldiering on. You sit down, take a breather. As a quick glance around the park as I enter, I take a seat on a wobbly old bench that I notice near a couple of vending machines. For minutes on end, I sit with my head bent over, forcing myself to take deep breaths. I feel more and more like an old man than a teenager who should be in the prime of his life. The stay in the hospital, the surgery, and all the medications are taking their toll on me. Damn it! Eventually, my breathing returns to normal and my muscles in my chest loosen. Not only a fair measure of relief, I guess this means the end of my little saunter. Though, in any case, there's a cafe on the far corner, so I'll stop by and quench my thirst before heading back. A little bell above the door signals my arrival to the empty counter. For a few moments I stand there waiting, my eyes every now and then drifting from one end to the counter to the other, searching for a service bell. Hey, it's Yuka! Yeah, the librarian. She works at a maid cafe? That's weird. Well, not weird, just weird that she works as a librarian and at a maid cafe. Eventually, the door, some ways behind the counter, opens, the person emerging from it taking me by complete surprise. Yuko? Hi, I had no idea you worked here. I realized I really have no idea how to address her either, given that is technically school staff as well as apparently a waitress. Yes, she quickly paces up to the counter before fiddling her upper half downwards in a overreactive bow. Welcome to the Shanghai. May I take your order? Straight down to business, I see. I don't know. Well, some coffee, please. Certainly. I'll make it right away and bring it to you when it's done. Thanks? Yuko formally takes me aback. She seems to take her job very seriously. Obeying her instructions, I turn around and quickly glance around for a free table. Considering the cafe seems to be empty, it's a simple task to accomplish. As I walk towards a table adjacent to a window, I notice a flash of yellow around one of the table dividers. Now, that can only mean really one thing. Yellow. Lilly and... someone! Who? They got red eyes. That is top, man. That is cool.
Sure enough, no more than a glance is needed to ascertain that it's a certain Satao at the table. That said, I don't recognize the suited figure across the table from her. Blonde, fair-skinned, and only a little shorter. I think she must be related. Is it a she? The build is kinda... Since the two are all but silent, as the suited figure takes a swig from the cup of coffee, I decide to greet Lilly. Some part of me coming here was in order to meet her, after all. Hi, Lilly. Hello. Isho. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, nice to see you again. The suited girl looks up, noting my uniform with a relaxed smile. Well-dressed person. Know each other? I guess. This is good an approximation of our relationship as I can think of. Care to take a seat? She says this to the air beside me, but the message is clear enough and I take a seat beside her. I suppose some introductions might be in order. Yes, please. Hisho, this is Akira Satao, my older sister. Okay, so it is a sister. That's freaking cool, man. She's got, like, a business suit and red eyes. Akira, this is Hishio Nikkei, another Yamaku student. Looking like my guess was correct, the newly introduced Akira gives a nod, which I return. What I don't return, however, is the almost analytic glance with which she looks me over. As she does so, Yuko walks up to the table, carefully placing the coffee on the table before bowing and taking her leave. Gently bringing my hand to the side of the cup, I realize that it's already to just the right temperature to drink. After taking a sip, the flavor turns out to be just as good as the temperature. How can coffee be good, man? I don't drink coffee. I don't like it. Yuko seems a lot better at this thing than being a librarian. I take a good look at the drink before relaxing in the seat. It takes mere seconds for Akira's examination to come to an end. Apparently becoming quickly bored with the activity, she turns to her sister. So, how's school recently? It seems Akira is entirely unconcerned with someone she doesn't know at all, listening to everything they say. Well, yeah, I'm a friend, come on. Not that I mind leaving them to their chatting. I sit back and continue drinking the pleasantly aromatic, basically it has a good smell, coffee. Sounds like it's pretty busy for you then. At least I'm not cooking meals for after school anymore. As they talk, I slowly realize that I'm entirely unable to gauge Lily's emotions through her eyes, as I would with any other person. Well, she doesn't really use her eyes, so... It becomes slightly unsettling as I subconsciously focus on that fact. Whoa, so cold. Weren't you just cooking for yourself anyway? I only ever got leftovers. That's not the point. Are you managing to feed yourself at least? I can cook without blowing myself up, you know. Mostly. That's... it's fine. I need to learn sometime anyway. Oh... Glad to see that the sisters are getting well along together. Lilly? Everyone present is momentarily distracted by Yuko, who places a cup of tea on the table for Lilly. Taking the moment to glance at her watch, Akira levers herself off the seat and gives me a quick nod. Well, I better be off. It's nice talking to you, Lilly. Akira, do you have to... Lilly is generally mournful that her sister's son leaving. it doesn't seem like she might have the wrong idea. Sorry, I need to get back to work. I'll be back. They'll be on my neck again if I don't make it back quickly. So informal. Akira's trim and tidy appearance would give anyone the wrong impression of her. Bye, Akira. Come on, don't look so down. I'll be around again soon. See yas. With that, she waltzes out of the Shanghai with her hand held high, even though Lilly can't see it. But I think with that, guys, gonna have to end the episode here. Like and favorite if you've enjoyed, subscribe, of course. Share this with all your friends if you feel like it. And I will see you guys next time I'm out there in YouTube land. I'll see you then. Yeah.